To buy houses and you're wondering, what should I not buy? Well, this is an important question. As somebody that has bought houses, sold houses, helped people buy houses, investment and just to live in. Here are the top types of houses just to never buy, and I'm going to sprinkle in a lot of other things that by the time you get done with this video, you're going to know as an investor or as a home buyer what to stay away from, and this will save you a lot of time. So let's just jump right into it. So there are items in a house that will cost you a lot of money, and by not knowing what these are, you are going to pay for it later. So let's get to it. The first one I want to talk about is iron piping, as in sewer pipes or therefore water pipes, whatever. If you see iron piping on your home inspection or you look underneath the house and you see a lot of it, it is going to cost you later, especially if you're on a slab. If you're buying a house with a slab, as in sitting on a concrete slab, you are most likely going to have to chisel that concrete up to redo that piping. You see it a lot in really old houses, especially like 1930s and below, 1940s and below, 1950s and below. It was mostly sewer pipe, but sometimes they did it in water pipe. It is just bad stuff that you're going to wind up having to cut out and redo no matter what. So just stay away from it. If you do find it, negotiate in for it to be replaced. Just be careful. The next one is galvanized piping. If you see any galvanized piping, just say no unless you're buying it for an investment. And then just factor in having to replumb the entire house because it leaks, it's rusty, you'll have rust in the water, your toilet tank will just be red, it'll be gnarly and nasty. It's just, I had it in my house when I bought my house and I just repiped the house. Luckily, it was an off-grade house, as in there was room underneath the house to get underneath it and cut it out and just put PEX in. But it is another one that insurance is going to have a conniption on. So just make sure you look out for it and try to steer away from it. Okay, the next one is wiring. Paper wiring, as in the old paper, asbestos, like cannon fuse looking stuff. If it is paper like the old black stuff or the knob and tube or aluminum wiring, just stay away from it. It's going to cost you a lot to rewire a house, especially now after the pandemic. So just factor that in, and if you see it, just run, go get a more modern house if you're a first-time home buyer. If you're an investor, factor in $10,000 to $20,000 to rewire the house because it's just going to be an insurance nightmare, and you're going to have pain down the line. Aluminum, very few people will actually insure it, even if it's had the TAPCon or the Aluminacon connectors put on it. It's just hard to deal with. Okay, let's stay away from flat roofs. Some parts of the country, they have flat roofs on a house that is in a very minimal pitch, as in no pitch. See it on a lot of commercial buildings, but on regular residential housing, it can be an insurance nightmare, and a lot of times a house settles and you'll have one spot on the roof that is actually holding the water, and sooner or later it will find its way through into your ceiling and into your sheetrock. So just don't go there. If you're in a part of the United States, like out west or somewhere where they have a lot of flat roofs, just, that's a different story. But if you're on the East Coast where it rains a lot, flat roofs are not going to be your friend, and they're going to be an insurance nightmare. I'm not an insurance agent. I'm just telling you as an investor, good luck with those premiums if somebody will even touch it. I've had the hardest time owning flat roofs. I bought them really cheap and I thought it was going to be a good idea until insurance started to eat up all my cash flow. Okay, the next one is a house that's been on fire. Don't buy it. Just don't. What's happening now, and if you're an insurance agent, comment down below, but I was at an insurance meeting yesterday, and if a house has been on fire and there's been a payout on the house when it's been on fire, insurance company's going to ask a lot more questions to insure it the next go round. They're going to make sure that it has been fixed. And if it's something small, like, a little portion of it, you might get away with it. But if it's up in the rafters and the framing or anything like that, just don't buy the house. I don't care how cheap you get it. It's going to be an insurance nightmare. And a lot of people are going to have questions. And when the home inspector on the next go-around goes through it and sees any char marks, it's going to be a long, drawn-out closing. And you're going to have to do a lot of inspections. And it's going to be a lot of question marks. So just stay away from them. Just be very careful. And I suggest just keep on looking. There's other houses out there. All right, my next one is structural issues. Uneven floors, cracks in the floor, cracks in the slab, or if you look at a house, one the other day, and there was a crack all the way down the hall, you will see, the slab is doing something weird, or if you're in the older wood floor houses off grade, you will see uneven floors, which some houses, just being old, have settled and they will have uneven floors. My house has uneven floors, but be careful when you're looking at that. If you see a hump, if you see something weird, especially around the bathrooms, around the plumbing spots, where plumbing is going in and out, they can just say, hey, you might have a water issue or some rotten subfloor or rotten floor joists. Have an inspection and take it seriously. Have a WDO, that's termites, wood destroying organisms. Have a good inspection before you buy it. Don't buy one with structural issues if you're not a professional and you're not an investor getting it as a super cheap deal. I fixed a lot of floor joists, and sometimes it's hit or miss. You get one of the main joists and it can be a real problem if you can't cut the floor opening, just get underneath there. So just keep that on your Richter scale or in your kit bag. Okay, the next one is a house with bad windows, okay? Especially one with a lot of bad windows, old glass windows. If you're within, I think, 2 miles of the Gulf Coast or of a bayou or the big water, they're not impact rated, so the insurance company is going to eat you up. Not to mention your AC bill is going to eat you up. Not to mention your heat bill is going to eat you up. You're going to wind up having to replace those bad boys because the insurance company is probably going to make you do it. It's going to be an insurance nightmare. So just stay away from it or prepare to have them replaced. My mom and my mother-in-law just had all their windows replaced in their house. It was worth it because it's quieter, it's more efficient, it works better. I've had all the windows replaced in my house. It's not cheap though. I think she did 1,200 square feet, and I don't know how many, 10, 15 windows, like 14 grand. So, FYI, stay away from those houses unless you're planning to fix it. All right, here's my next one. Septic tanks. If you live in an area, I'll take where I'm at, for example, speaking from experience. If you have a septic tank and they've put through sewer, most counties are going to make you convert. So just plan on that, no matter how new they say the septic tank is. If it's available, they won't let you work on it anymore. Like, you won't be able to go get a permit to work on it. So keep that in your kit bag. And if your municipality does that, most of the modern cities are doing that now. Maybe if you're in a rural area, they won't bother you. But here in Pensacola, Florida, you got a problem and it needs a permit to fix it, they won't give you. They'll make you go ahead and switch over, and you're going to be digging to the tap out there. You're going to pay for their tap fee, and you're going to wind up paying for the plumber to hook it all up, and it's not cheap. So just keep that on the lookout. If you are buying like an old house and it's got one of those old tanks, odds are it wasn't built for a modern house with washing machines and 3 showers a day and dishwashers and all that stuff. Just keep that in mind, that you might wind up having to pay the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to go on and hook up to the city tap. Sucks, I know, but that's why I'm here making this video. Okay, so the next one, don't buy ugly houses. Don't buy an ugly house. It is right up there at the top of the list. It will always be an ugly house unless you're really good at decorating. I've bought some square houses, I've bought some block houses, I've bought a lot of houses that I thought but they were cheap. But I realized when you go to sell that thing, nobody wants it because it's ugly. And it's just a rule of thumb. Dave Ramsey was right. Don't buy ugly houses. Buy cute houses. You can always sell them, even if you have to pay up a little bit, because it's cute. You can sell a cute, pretty house. You can't really sell an ugly, gnarly looking thing. Just FYI, put that in your kit bag. Okay, last but not least, don't buy bad layouts, okay, and odd numbers of bedrooms. Okay, my mom says, she calls them dirt dauber houses. Looks like a dirt dauber, the little bug, and it keeps just adding on to a house to the point where there's all these rooms and you can't quite figure out what's going on. And then structurally, they're all over the place, and then, it just doesn't add up, and it's hard to put on the MLS, and it's hard to get anybody to look at and understand what's going on. It looks like there was a lot of unpermitted stuff and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just stay away from those. Also, like in the world we live in now, 3 bedroom, 2 bath is like the norm. And for many years, that was not the norm. You had 2 1s, 2 bed, 1 bath. You had 3 1s, 3 bed, 1 bath. Now you have 3 2s, you have 4 2s, you have 4 3s, you have 5 3s, you have 5 2s. Now, with a family, it's expected to have 2 bathrooms. So a 3 1 sometimes is hard to sell. A 2 1 is sometimes hard to sell. You can get them cheaper. And but there's still a 1 bath, and for many people they don't want that, so you'll wind up having a hard time on the resale, unless you're planning to buy it and put another bathroom in it, which is possible. I did it in mine. A lot of people around here have done that because these houses were standard 3 1, 2 1, and you can add a lot of value by buying a 3 1 and making it a 3 2. I mean, like, you can add some serious equity into it, but keep that in mind. You know, don't buy that house if you're planning to resell it or whatever. Just keep it in mind. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm gonna break down as an investor things to look out for. If you can find a carport and wall it in and add an extra bathroom, or a carport and wall it in and add square footage that is air conditioning and seasoned, heated, you can make some serious money that way. Also, if you can find anything with a bad 4-point, and I say this for if you're watching this as a home buyer, you've got HVAC, you've got roof, you've got plumbing, you got electrical. If you can find one of those that's bad, and you can fix it fairly easy, and you're financing or you're using cash, there's a lot of money to be made in that. I made a lot of money by just buying houses with bad roofs because nobody else could buy them without cash, and then I would buy it, put a roof on it, and all of a sudden I get $40,000 or $50,000 in equity. That is something you can do. Carports, I love buying houses with carports or porches, and I can just wall them in and put an air conditioning unit in it, or a AC vent, and boom, an extra 200 square feet. And in Navy Point, at $230 a square foot, you just packed in some serious money, and it probably cost you a couple grand to wall this in. So these are things to look for, and then things to stay away from. And the ones I said stay away from, just stay away from it unless you are really experienced, or you have a really experienced real estate agent or a really experienced team behind you that can navigate it, because bathrooms to replace and repipe are expensive, kitchens, same thing, etc., etc. And if you happen to be looking to buy or sell real estate on the Gulf Coast, I happen to be a real estate agent here in Pensacola, Florida, also licensed in Alabama. So email me down below, or give me a call, and I can help you find whatever you're looking for, because I do this all the time. And I've bought and sold and helped, and I'm kind of good at this. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and comment down below with things to stay away from, because we're a learning experience here, and I'll see you guys later.